Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're doing something deeply personal. We are uncovering the origin of wounds you have probably carried your entire life. Look, the hard truth is, the most profound pain usually doesn't come from a dark alley somewhere. It comes from the places that were supposed to be safe. So today, we're breaking down 7 distinct signs that you were raised by a narcissistic parent and exactly how that childhood experience is still pulling the strings on your behavior right now. The most damaging relationship of your life did not begin with a stranger. It began at home. Just sit with that for a second. It's a staggering realization, isn't it? The absolute deepest betrayal you've ever faced didn't come from an enemy. It came from someone whose literal biological job was to protect you. Someone whose absolute responsibility was to look at you and show you that you were worthy of love exactly as you were. You see, the deepest trauma of narcissistic parenting is its invisibility. It leaves these wounds that are so deep and planted so early on that you've probably spent your whole adult life reacting to them without ever actually identifying their source. You carry these invisible early scars right into your workplace, your friendships, and your romantic relationships, basically letting them dictate your actions completely from the shadows.
Let's look at sign number 1. Your achievements were never enough.
Picture this. As a kid, you come home with an A, and they immediately ask why it wasn't an A+. You win the competition, and they instantly point out the one single mistake you made. They literally couldn't celebrate your success without filtering it through their own needs, right? Because to a narcissistic parent, your achievement was really only about how it reflected on them. And because you were never allowed to just simply be proud of yourself, you turn into an adult who's absolutely plagued by imposter syndrome. An adult who physically cannot accept a compliment without brushing it off. Moving on to sign number 2. Your emotions were weaponized against you. Think back. If you cried, you were told to stop being dramatic. If you were scared, you were just being ridiculous. If you were angry, you were actually punished for it. But here's the thing. Children need their emotions to be witnessed, not fixed, not dismissed, just seen. But when your feelings are consistently mocked like that, you learn a terrifying lesson. Feeling is dangerous. You learn that vulnerability just invites an attack. So what happens? You become an adult who survives by burying their feelings deep down and living in profound silence. All right, sign number 3. This is a devastating reality that honestly, most people never even have a name for: the role reversal. In psychology, this is called parentification. And let me tell you, this is one of the absolute heaviest, most unacknowledged traumas of growing up in a narcissistic household. You managed their moods. You learned all their little warning signs. You were the one comforting them when they were upset, and you were the one protecting your siblings from their random outbursts of anger. You were literally forced to act as the stabilizing adult in the house while you were still just a kid yourself. The really painful consequence of this? A child who is forced to regulate their parents' emotional state never actually learns how to regulate their own, and that creates a brutally exhausting adult reality. You become hyper-attuned to exactly what everybody else needs, but remain completely, totally disconnected from your own self. You can walk into a room and instantly know exactly what everyone else is feeling, but you've lost touch entirely with what it is you actually want. Which brings us to sign number 4. Love was transactional. When you were good, oh, they loved you. But the second you disappointed them, that love just vanished. Now, maybe it wasn't said out loud, but you felt it. It was communicated through this icy coldness, sudden withdrawal, or just explosive rage. That dynamic taught you a really toxic lesson. Your fundamental worth wasn't inherent. It was something that had to be earned. That conditional foundation creates an exhausted adult who simply cannot stop performing. You live terrified that if you stop being useful, if you drop the act for even a split second, you are going to be left utterly unloved. Sign number 5. The suffocating absence of boundaries. Your childhood was essentially one brutal double standard. Your room was barged into without knocking, your diary read, your deepest, most private thoughts treated like public property. Yet their boundaries? Absolute, ironclad, unquestionable. And today, because you were never shown what a healthy middle ground actually looks like, you basically swing between 2 extremes. You either let people walk all over you, or you enforce your boundaries with intense aggression. You simply weren't given a safe, normal way to learn how to protect your space. Okay, sign number 6. You carried the crushing weight of their emotional weather. You lived with a nervous system that was in permanent crisis mode. If they were angry, well, it was your job to fix it. If the house felt tense, you immediately started scanning your own behavior, trying to figure out what you did wrong. Let's be clear, that is a wildly inappropriate weight to put on a child's shoulders. And the child who carries that, they become the adult who blindly apologizes before they've even done anything wrong. You're constantly scanning a room's emotional temperature, physically unable to relax until you are absolutely sure everyone around you is okay.
And finally, sign number 7. This is perhaps the most lasting pattern that aggressively dictates your daily actions. You cannot say no.
Saying no to a narcissistic parent didn't just mean no. It brought anger, massive guilt trips, and severe punishment. The underlying message burned into your brain was that your needs literally do not matter as much as theirs do. So to survive, you learned chronic people-pleasing. You learned to shrink yourself down to avoid conflict. And it's a survival tactic you carry into every modern relationship, every friendship, and every single workplace, long after that parent has lost any actual power over your life.
Now listen to me and hear this clearly. None of this was your fault. You are a child. You simply adapted to survive the dark, chaotic environment you were placed in. You did exactly what you had to do to get through it. That's it. The patterns that protected you then are available to be unlearned now. You see, you're not a helpless child anymore. Those exhausting behaviors you engage in today, the people-pleasing, the desperate perfectionism, constantly scanning the room, those were just tools. Survival tools you needed for the past. And today, you have the incredible, liberating power to finally put those heavy tools down. Because awareness is the absolute beginning of healing. Being able to finally identify the source of these invisible wounds is the very first step toward taking your life back. The archive of your past is finally open. I want to genuinely thank you for walking through this explainer with me today. To uncover more hidden truths, break these toxic cycles, and continue this journey with us, make sure you hit subscribe to Dark Archive. We'll see you next time.